So the Orange back home, the Orange back in the win column. 2 big-time wins for the Cuse. And with that, let's send it over to Jaron and our Citrus TV softball reporter, Anthony Vasquez.
After the weekend, Syracuse now sits at 19-12, and now we are joined by Anthony Vasquez, the Citrus TV softball beat reporter, to break everything down because this team has its ups and its downs. Let's start with the positive, and it's this pitching staff. They finally figured out their rotation.
That's right. It really is a two-horse staff for SU. Starting out with Ariana Adams, she's really settled down in the rotation as a reliever, and the fifth-year grad transfer from Texas really offers a veteran presence to this already young rotation. Hitters are only hitting .244 against her with a solid .354 ERA, but she does have the propensity to give up a lot of home runs. She's given up 11 this year. Meanwhile, the real ace of the rotation, Lindsey Hendrick. She's rebounded quite well after a rough start to the non-conference slate. She's really taken that ace spot from Summer Clark ever since she struggled in the ACC. She leads the team in ERA and batting average against.
So that's the positive with the Syracuse softball team. The negative comes at the plate. Their bats have been suspect at best.
Yes, that's right. The bats have been ice cold since the conference play started, rather. This isn't the same offense we saw tear up inferior opponents earlier on in the season. This team is hitting .291 in the season, but they're just hitting .209 in the ACC, and a bunch of other stats are down too. On-base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, you name it, it's probably going down. And that's a lot because Paris Woods, Taylor Posner, and Tessa Gallipo are all hitting under 200 in conference play.
Conference is the word to talk about because the non-conference out the window. That's done. They're in the ACC slate now, and they have 2 really hard opponents coming up with Notre Dame and Louisville.
That's right. The Fighting Irish present the toughest task for SU. They're 7-3 in the ACC, and if we're playing the common opponents game, they beat Georgia Tech twice, they beat Duke twice as well, and they also beat a really good LSU team down in the SEC. So that'll be a tough series for SU, but meanwhile, Louisville, a much more doable task for the Cuse. They were just 3-6 in the ACC, and they were also swept by Georgia Tech and lost 2 out of 3 to NC State.
How about that? Anthony Vasquez knowing everything about this Syracuse softball team. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Jaron.
All right, after the break, we're going from the diamond to the court. We're talking SU tennis. Don't go anywhere. OTB will BRB.